Hey everybody, my name is David. This is the Payline, and it is December 4th, 2021. This is the NBA slate from last night. I had a video where I talked about it. I went 6 out of 9 on my official picks, and then I had a lot of stuff that I commented on that also turned out to be very correct in games that I didn't take or didn't touch at all. So I just kind of want to go over that very, very quickly. Heat beat the Pacers. Watch my first video if you want to see my explanation of that. Cavs did win. I saw the line moving very, very early in the day. It started out at 5.5, around 4, depending on your book. And by tip-off, it was pretty much 1.5, 2 points. Cavs dominated the Wizards by 15. Very clean win. 76ers barely scrape out a win against the Hawks. This was mostly due to the Hawks only scoring 9 points in the fourth quarter. That was one of my losses of the night, an official loss. So Hawks let me down, but that's what happens when you score 9 fucking points in the fourth. Timberwolves stayed in it. Timberwolves are a fighting team. They're like the Cavs. They cover all the fucking time. They get way too many points for the amount of effort they put in and for kind of how decent that team is realistically becoming now. The Nets also very, very good, very, very talented team, but they will let you stay in it. So they'll beat you, but they'll let you hang around and, cover the spread. Magic covered by half a point. It's the Magic and the Rockets. Moving on. Pelicans, Mavericks. Pelicans destroyed my Mavs as a kind of a revenge game for what we did to them last time we met them. We just lack size. We, as in, Mavs stand here. But honestly, we need centers back. We need Porzingis back. We just need a big man out there to sort of soak up the floor. Celtics, if you got the early line on kind of launch, depending on your book, the early line was anywhere from 7.5 to around 9, depending on how you want to swing it or if you bought points. Celtics barely covered. Jazz somehow let this game go to 250 plus points, which is, really sad for everybody because the Celtics shouldn't have gotten even this close to winning, and the Jazz really should have tried to put on a little bit of a better show there. Clippers did beat the Lakers. They did cover the spread both ways, no matter how you squared it, because some books had them favored, some books had them as dogs, but it was like 1 point, so it was pretty much a pick 'em. Clippers did win. And last but not least, Suns-Warriors. Suns were really hanging in there, and then the Golden State Warriors started to shoot like they were the Golden State Warriors. So something to think about. Don't really get too caught up if, because the Hawks fucked me today, but they were great all game and they were up a ton, but they just had a bad fourth quarter. So what can you do, And that's fucking gambling. So we're going to go right into today's games now. We have Denver versus the Knicks. The Nuggets are +2. 108 is their money line, -126 for the Knicks to win. And for the rest of these, I read all those out loud on the first one, but I'm going to be putting them down here right now. So there they are. Denver's got no injuries. I like them a lot. RJ, Noel are both day-to-day on the Knicks, and typically I really wouldn't, think that losing Nurkic, Noel, or RJ Barrett really is going to be a huge detrimental thing. Maybe RJ more than Noel, but at the end of the day, they really need Nurkic out there to kind of soak up space, be a center, get in, because Denver has size. They have Gordon, they have everybody else on that team. They will, just stomp you down with big boys. I like the Nuggets here. I like the Nuggets so much I like the money line. I really do. I think they're good. I think they're that good. Bulls at the Nets. I don't think the Bulls played yesterday. They did not. So the Nets are coming off a back-to-back here. Double homestand right after the Timber Pups. I love the Bulls as a team, the way they're built, everything. However, they are getting fucked by COVID right now. No Javonte Green, no Kobe White, and possibly no Caruso, depending on he's day-to-day right now, so maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't. I don't think any of those guys are really kind of the core competencies, but I think at this point that's too many pieces to lose to really say that they're going to beat the Nets, but I don't know. They're +3. That's kind of low for having that out because Kobe and Caruso are, facilitators at best in kind of the scheme of their offense. But I kind of like the Bulls' money line here. I think the Nets coming off a back-to-back, maybe they have it in them, maybe they don't. I think that the Bulls are a high-intensity, very quick pace, very aggressive team. So the Nets will have their hands full tomorrow night. I will say the Bulls, and I will also say the under in this game. Because the Bulls, is there even an over-under? There is. It is 220. That is very high. The Bulls put up a bunch of points. I don't think the Nets are going to, be able to score too terribly well against the Bulls and their defense. Heat at the Bucks. We have a, we have another injury bowl here. The Heat, just like last night where they won against the Pacers, still missing Jimmy Butler, still missing Bam Adebayo. I mean, Lowry and some of the other guys really did pull up their weight, but unfortunately, at the end of the day, when you're going up against the Bucks, you're going up against Portis, you're going up against Antetokounmpo, you're going up against size, you're going up against big fucking people that are 7 feet up. So if you don't have that, you don't have a way to really consistently counteract that, you're going to get steamrolled, especially with a dominant force like Giannis out there. The line is, I don't know, Heat Bucks, +5 for the Heat. That's not enough. I'm going to take the Bucks -5 there. Yeah, it's a size game, boys. Can't be height. You can't teach somebody to be taller. Spurs at the Warriors. Spurs have been on kind of a hot streak. They've been blowing the fuck out of everybody they've played. However, they've played 3 terrible teams back to back to back. They are +10 here. I'm going to take the Golden State Warriors -10. That's a lot of points, and the Spurs are wonderfully coached. I think as long as Greg Popovich is on that team, they're going to have a chance to win every game. Even if their talent level is nothing, they will cut you and, what is it, death by 1,000 cuts you. Just fundamentals. So I do like the Warriors in that game. I do like the -10. The over-under is 219. I think the Spurs are a decent defensive team, despite their offensive problems kind of earlier in the season during that mid portion where they lost like 6 in a row, I think. Yeah, Warriors -10. I like the under in this one as well. 219 is a lot only because of the Spurs. I know that, one team could get hot and put up a couple extra points to the Warriors, but at the end of the day, I don't think that it's going to be, that big of a deal. Grizzlies at the Mavs. Grizzlies, no jaw. They have... Okay, so here's the big thing, right? So Mavs are my team. We don't have size again in this game. They have Steven fucking Adams, who is actually just a brick wall disguised as a human. I think that the paint presence, the aggressiveness, it's going to be hard to keep up with the Grizzlies. They're buzzing right now. They're a pretty damn good team. They're +5.5, +198 to win. I'm not betting on this game. I will not bet on this game. I will not lose money or bet on the Mavs twice in a row where I don't feel great about it. Moving on. Celtics Trailblazers. Brown's still out. Lillard's out. Anthony Simons is out. Nasir Little's out. Trailblazers are cut the fuck up, and the Celtics have proved to me last night that they really want to win here. So let's see if they can go to the Trailblazers, who lost to the Spurs, by the way, in their last game, I believe. So they're not too hot. I will be taking the Celtics, and that's a pick'em game. That's just straight up a pick'em. I think the spread was half a point or a point, so pick your poison. Point shouldn't really mean too much in the grand scheme of things, but maybe it will. Clippers v. Kings. Paul George is day-to-day. No Kawhi, of course, and no Batum, which is a huge deal. He was out against the Lakers. They still found a way to get a win there, but I would be more concerned for the Clippers if Harrison Barnes and Harkless were both not out for the Kings. So they're out. Harrison Barnes, veteran player, great leadership on that team. The Kings have a lot of crazy athleticism on that team, but I still think the Clippers will get this one done. The Kings, I will say this, though. It's a 1.5 spread right now. Clippers favored. This could be a Kings blowout out of nowhere on just strictly the idea that the Kings, I have no bearing really on how bad or good they are so far. But we'll see. I think the Kings are decent. Not against the Clippers, though. Clippers have, after the last 2 years in the playoff debacle and all that other bullshit, they've really got to start getting their stuff together here. I believe in them, though. I think they're a great team. All right, due to some technical difficulties, that was a very rough cut for everybody. But I'm just going to go over the entire slate really, really quick, top to bottom, and just go through the picks. I'm taking the Nuggets plus their points. I'm taking the Bulls. I'm taking the Bulls plus their points or money line. I'll kind of see how I feel when I wake up tomorrow, or where the line is, honestly. Heat, Bucks, I'm taking the Bucks minus the points. Warriors, Spurs, I'm taking the Warriors minus the points and the under. Grizzlies, Mavs, I'm not touching because I don't want to curse my fucking Mavs again. And then we have Celtics Trailblazers. I'm taking the Celtics plus the points. It's a pick'em, but I think the Celtics will get it out. And then Clippers Kings, I'm going to be taking the Clippers. So those are my picks. Hopefully you like them. And if they're stupid, tell me why. If they're not stupid, then hopefully we both make some money. I'll see you guys tomorrow.